Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Joke and welcome back to Space Engineers. As you can see, we're watching the sunrise, and I've done a bit of work on the base in preparation for today's lovely event. We're currently standing on top of one of our guard platforms, and what I've done is I've moved our solar panel and created four more. Well, I destroyed the previous one, created four more. They are placed on towers around the perimeter of the crater, basically quadrupling our power supply and increasing how long they will eat the sun's rays. Yeah, I forgot words there for a second. Basically, this involved me doing a bunch of calculations to find out where I should place these other towers. These solar panels are temporary and will be replaced with gun emplacements and what have you later. So we have a total of 12 towers. Most of them, well, all but two of them are not working at the moment because it's a bit of a pain to create them. I did reinforce them with steel just so that people can't shoot them out. So this may look like that it's not welded properly. I did do some welding here, but there's a central core that is welded. So a stray rocket can't take it out, as a certain member of the server was commenting on. Anyway, so I've done what I said I would do. I've moved some things around. I get rid of the previous landing platform. I welded this one up. I got rid of our spare vehicle because it is no longer required. I've done some mining just to get the resources we need, and I've started with the removal of this platform, because we need to remove it. In addition, we now have some mods. Specifically, we have the tiered thruster mega pack, which includes tiered ion thrusters and armored, hydrogen and armored, and atmospheric and armored, all the way up to tier 4. Noting every time it does that, it times it by 2. So a tier 1 thruster is 2 regular, a tier 2 thruster is 2 tier 1s, so 4 regular, etc, etc. So 3 is 8 and 4 is 16. Right. Equivalent. This is also the same in power and fuel consumption, so they are a bit expensive. However, I've encountered a couple of bugs where the thrusters didn't take any power supply, so I'm not going to use them until I can make sure that they are using power. Anyway, so I've moved the programmable blocks. I'm currently discharging these batteries into lovely rotary door, replacing our old airlock, into these two batteries, and once they're full, we can get rid of the others. The other mods that I included was the rotary door and the shield generator, or defense shield rather. That's not how you do it. So we have these shield modulators, shield emitters, so we'll have to try them out at some point, though they are expensive, to say the least. So we are going to need to up our game in terms of mining, which the thrusters should allow. Yeah, I've also redone this place so it looks a bit more spacious. Anyway, on with the show. Today we are going to be building our production facilities, because my god, doing all of this is painful when the doing all this is painful when you don't have the processor, the assembly speed, or the refinery speed. It's just stupid. I've built a medical room here because it's much faster when it comes to recharging. Right, so first things first. First things first. Right, I'm going to build out the struts, or rather the blueprint for the... Well, I'll make the floor plan, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've placed down the armor plating and I've welded up not this bit. And I'm basically using the armor plating as here are the walls. Right, so we have a I'm going to need to recalculate just in case, by the way. That actually matches up well. Right, so first of all, right, we've got a 2-block gap. I need a interior plate. There we go. So we have a 2-block gap here, and then we have cargo container 1. I'm using cargo containers for now. We will be using proper stuff later. Okay, so here's the situation. We don't need this 3-block gap. We can actually just have a 2-block gap. That will work. So we have 1, 2, this, and then we have another 1, 2, and then a cargo container and a cargo container, and another 1, 2, and then you're done. Now, this area here allows us to get a stairs in so that we can go up a level, and then access the second row of cargo containers, which is brilliant. Now, just to check that I've done this properly as well, so we should be able to place 1 and 2, and we have a walkway of 3. Excellent. That is useful. Yes, I have done something wrong. Lovely. I love it when I do things wrong. Working in Burma, local government, facing down a 10 degree. Right. You get the point. I'm going to fix that later. So this is basically where the warehouse is going to be. It's going to be really nice and close to the medical room. We are going to make this kind of corner a human habitation space or what have you. But for now, that's the medical room, and I want the storage, the warehouse to be next to it. Good. We're all good here. Right, now let's build our processing facility. Okay, we're back, and I've done some welding with the assistance of a slightly retrofitted miner. I've stuck some welders on the front of it with a connector so that I can feed it, so I can provide steel plate a lot quicker and weld up a lot quicker than I would be able to otherwise. It was starting to get to be a pain, so I did that quickly. It's not really equipped for welding. This second welder over here doesn't actually receive any inventory because of how small conveyors work, which is annoying. But you know, that's life. So we have our lovely slab of steel here, and now we're going to lay it out into something that resembles order. Right, so first of all, go grab a couple of steel plates. I've already got some interior plate on me, but we're going to be tearing up some ground at some point. So we've got this lovely area in which, yeah, I think I need to throw... No, off topic, get back on topic. We've got this lovely area. We're going to be placing a lot of assemblers here. Now, we want to grab ourselves assembler. That's artificial. Yes, this is assembler. We grab ourselves an assembler. As you can see, it's got... It's kind of small. It's too long and 1 by 1 on its footprint. But it also has upgrade modules. Now, if we want our system to be as good as possible, we're going to want a lot of assemblers with a lot of speed modules, or 2 speed, 2 power reduction, however much we want. But we are allowed 4 modules on each of these, so that's something that we've got to keep in mind. Now, technically, we can get away with doing 3 modules because we can keep the conveyor ports, which are also upgrade ports, open. That's the conveyor port on the right there. And we can get away with 3 whole modules per assembler. Yes. Now, the area that we've got. Right. The area that we've got. Wall starts here. I am going to fancy up the wall a bit. I just want to determine how I want to do the inside. So we've got roughly the same amount of space as that one. In fact, it should be equal. Should be being the key word. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's wrong. That sounds wrong somehow. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, yeah, that is correct. Idiot. Right, so first of all, these two here are going to be reserved for moving space. So that gives us 6. And then we have a space of 3 and then 1. Don't have the fuel. Of course I don't. I didn't bring enough. We haven't started tearing up the ground yet. I'm going to need to go back to the conveyor, to the cargo system to get rid of that. There you are. We've got that in terms of space. Right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yes, something has gone wrong. That doesn't make sense. This is interior. 6. From here. 2, 1. 6. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 5, 6, 7. No. What? On which axis are you longer? Oh no, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I don't want to have to replace that. Oh, that would be a pain. That would be a pain. Right. Okay. Hello. This line. That's it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. Yeah. 1, 2, 10, and I have gone wrong in the counting somewhere. I'll be back in a second. Okay, don't worry everyone, I'm back and I've tweaked the conveyors and I've built some more, so we should be good. My patience is wearing ever so slightly thin. Anyway, so what I've done is I've added even more conveyors because time is on my side for now, and I've fixed the problem of it not being ordered. So these central lines of conveyors, these spurs going directly outwards from the landing pad, they're going to have a 5-block wide road instead of a 3-block wide road, right? This allows us to pilot vehicles this way from the landing pad, and then we can have a lovely elevator in which they ride up to the other side or what have you. Doesn't particularly matter. Basically that allows us to allows me to keep my head intact. Anyway, we're going to build a building. I know. So weird. Right, so we're going to build a building. Yes. The question is, how do we want to place our assemblers? Don't worry everyone, I'm not going to have you guys sit here whilst I weld everything together. I'm going to do that off camera. My god. Right, so we place down our assembler, assuming it's on top of a conveyor point. Right, we then have the grab modules. We then have modules, however we want those modules set up. In fact, it's probably easier for me to build blocks at this point. But we have modules, right? This can ascend up to the height of the room, whatever. It's not important. So there's a couple ways that we can do this. We can have the vertical orient. This is the wall right here. No, this is the wall right here. So we can't go any further down than this. which means that we can't place a assembler here, for example. They'll miss out on the thing. Right? Right. Yes. How do you tessellate it? Okay, so after messing around with how I want things sorted, I have come up with this. Now they still follow the same spacing that we wanted before, but this is how I want it set up, just so we're maximizing the space we have available. So first off, this is separated into a 6x3, 6x3, and then a 6x6 and 6x6. Separated by a 3 wide line here, 3 wide line here, 2 wide there, 2 wide there. Right? Got that established. This encompasses how many assemblers? 6, 12, 24, 48? No, not 40. 36. Yes. Yes. I know times tables, definitely. So this is 36 assemblers, each equipped with 2 modules. At least one will be speed module, probably for now. The other one will be power module, power reduction module, just so that we can do this properly. And then the refineries, which we've got here, they'll be outfitted with whatever. We can change that out because we can access them easily. Now, we are going to need to connect up the conveyor system. Which we're going to want to do first before we start building the wall. Okay, so we've got all of the conveyor junctions welded. Let's grab some steel plate. Right. So now our task is to build the structure itself, at least up to the height at which it's currently standing. Because, you know, we may want to add a second floor at some point. Yeah. The first things first, we're going to work on the corner design, because we can make a regular wall design after we've done the corners, because I want to see how big our corner sections are going to take up. Okay. Throw this some steel. Gravity is... yeah, whatever. Right, so first things first, we're going to start off with an armor slope here, right? Having a rounded building makes it feel better somehow. We are then also going to want to extend that somewhat. Grab a inverted corner properly, yeah, a regular corner, and then that means that we have 2 light armor slopes going like this, right? For however high we want. Yeah. We can even make it so that it starts 1 level lower. Right? Make it so it starts 1 level up, down. So, for example, we have our corner block here. Our inverted corner. Then we have our slopes. We can go to 2 there, and then we can make that go 3, and then it comes to the next level, in which we get the corner block out like this for whatever kind of reason we want, and then we can make it go back in. That kind of has a good feel to it, I'd imagine. Yeah, that should work. We can find a way to make it work with the wall section. Can you call it? Yes, I can. Right, let's apply that to the rest. Okay, so this is the corner. The corner is done. Now we just need to put in the walls. What we want the walls to look like. I've got an idea. And you know, you always want to add a level of height no, not height, depth to your buildings. Because otherwise they look flat. Flat buildings do not look impressive. They're functional, yes, but they're boring. So, for example, we're going to add a bunch of these here. Now, we are going to fit in a door like here. We're going to fit a rotary door. But we do this. Some half blocks. Like so. You can see from an angle like this, if we say we're over here, from an angle like this, it actually looks like it's got some depth to it. And of course we can copy and paste this however tall that we want. And we can do the same on this side here. Now, the thing about this is that the interior section of this is 12 long, right? So we can get away with every 4 blocks. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, 1, 2, 4. No, that's not 12 blocks, that's 9. Look. That's not even 9. Count properly. 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. It's 10. Not gonna match, whatever. So we're gonna have this is a door, right? So if we made it so it's part of our design that 3 from the center, it does something weird, right? So for example, instead of slants, we could just place an entire thing here, right? Now, this will look a bit more impressive once it's built, but it should have a bit more of a texture to it. An interesting. Now, I'm not going to go through the process of showing you me building, but we also have to do this. Yeah. Considering that this is a building format, at least, what, 8 of the zones will be able to fit? So we have our line here with the interior. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17. 17 long, right? And the center have our line because we want to be able to airlock there. Okay. Oh yeah, I am going to pressurize all the buildings because, you know, it makes sense. Pressurize them. If we have something like that, we can then go to the midway point, or close to midway, or the others. Right? So we can go over to here, say, okay, you're 3 from here. It's exactly the same as 3 from here. Right? We can say, you are a pillar. Right? We can then go 3 from here and say, you, sir, are also a pillar. Right? Gives us a block of 4. Now, if we're running with the same thing that we're, you know, a distance of 3 incites a pillar, then we can say, well, how about this entire middle section's a pillar? Right? We can do something weird like have a LCD sign or some fancy lights or what have you along this middle pillar just to make it not look boring. But that will immediately look better than if it was just. And in addition, it's saving on this half blocks and armor slopes. Right, so I'm going to weld up the walls and we'll be back. Okay, so I have welded up all of the ground floor armor plating, or at least the ground floor walls. I've also added and welded a second floor because I feel like it needs it, otherwise the building looks a bit stunted. It also means that we can double the amount of processing facilities we have in there, which means that we won't want for any more. The only thing that matters is just getting enough ores in so that we can get enough ingots, which presumably will be something that we deal with later. But for now, we have, well, I've got to give a tour of my design decisions. So we're following the regular stuff, and then I was like, well, these sections looked a bit flat, so I added some of these half slopes. Half slope light armor block. Yeah, half slopes, that's it. So I added those in, and I added it fully, and then I was like, well, if it's full, I've got a better idea. We take out one block, or rather, for the one thin pillars, we get rid of the lower section, and instead we can place corner lights in there. You know, corner lights. This junk from me, shall we? Corner, yeah, these ones. Grab some components. Going too far. I'm gonna grab some components. Literally components. And then we can place corner lights, right? And we can weld that up. And it can illuminate part of this place. Now, obviously, we don't have the best ability to do this since the sun is up. But if I put it on the shadow side, I place it like this. Right. Yeah, it's a bit too bright. Right. I am gonna hang on. Is anyone online? No. No one's gonna mind that I just offset the time. Right. Okay. We are then going to access the base. Go to light. I'm gonna put all these. So we're gonna have the radius 5, which increases the radius. Right. As per usual. In fact, we're probably just gonna put them to max. Maximum radius, which is 10 meters. All if we go up to 0.8. Intensity, we can put 1. We don't need it that bright. But it is better than nothing. And if I install the mod that makes it so that there is no ambient light, it becomes a bit more useful. In fact, I'm likely to add that mod anyway, to be honest. Doesn't matter what my cohorts think, because I think it's a... But yeah, we add a bunch of those, and then it's illuminated even if it's dark. It should be more prominent if I make it pitch black, but I don't want to do that without a lot of lighting. I'm gonna get rid of this for now. Oh, well, like that. I'm gonna get rid of the lights for now because I don't want to mess with them. I'll add them in after this episode. Right. So now that we've got our structure, which is to be finished, I need to build the roof and build the rest of the wall here, and also do a lick of paint. But for now, we can move some of our stuff in. So let's do that. So we have a refinery here, right? We all love refinery, and we're just gonna move it straight there. Right, let's grab our yield. I said let's grab our yield module. Thank you. And I'm going to start placing them in. Don't hit your head. Hitting head is a bad idea. We're going to be welding this one because it's got instant access to the conveyor network. 2 yield modules here. We'll put the modules on the rest of them when we actually build them. So get some. And you get some.
Energy low.
Grab you. So we want 2 yield module. Speed module, because we're having a lot of refineries. Having 1 speed module is fine, and then power efficiency. Like so. Up. Oh, this isn't a battery, so we should get the power packs back. Yeah. Power efficiency modules are a bit heavy, so to speak, when you're trying to build them. Nope. And of course, I'm going to need to go into terminal to get rid of the entries. My God, I've worked with individuals who do not sanitize their control panel. You know, hide things from terminal. You know, all of this grouping stuff that I do here. Right? You can see, how are you supposed to find anything when there's like a ton of assemblers here? For some reason, they're numbered up to 100. I'm going to have to check. But you know, how are you supposed to find anything in a list like this? And it makes it worse even if I show all. So then you're just scrolling through, I don't know, 64 solar panels, and then some speed modules, and then some turrets, and it just gets excessive. Sorry, that was me ranting for a bit. I do apologize.
Energy critical.
Oh no, energy critical. What to do? Now the idea is, once we've got a couple of these refineries, I'm going to build another refinery up and running. No, that's not what... Once we get a conveyor access port inside the building, it makes it stupidly easy to do, to construct. But for now, we don't have one. You know, hindsight would say that I should build one. But when has hindsight been? Well, that's a lot of steel plate. That's like 3 more runs or something. Well, technically, once we build this refinery, we'll have a conveyor access port there, and everything will be dandy. Yeah, we're going to need 2 more runs. Go. Now this is the reason why I didn't do the roof, is so that we have easy access to the building itself. I have... Hey. Oh yeah, because I accidentally welded it before. Stick stuff in there. And weld this up. And then once we've got it up and running, that means we have our first refinery inside this building. Yes. Okay. And as we can see, we can look in here and we've got 141% effectiveness, 200% productivity, and 100%... It uses 748 kilowatts, basically. And that's moved in, which means I should be able to drag ingots. Yeah, we can... I'm moving ingots from the cargo container around, and I can access this, which means it's on the conveyor network. Most excellent. And then we've got 4 assemblers, which will happily go this section. Back on problem. Yeah. I'm gonna move over the assemblers. And then that means that we can reclaim this area for a cargo look. Oh yeah, one thing to note, we do need some oxygen, hydrogen generators inside this building, which I think I'll put on the 2nd floor, because we will have a bit too many, well, a few too many assemblers. So if we... What's that? Yeah, 36 assemblers. And then we have another bank of 12, which is 48, and another bank of thing, which is 60. So we have like 60 assemblers. That is way too much. Especially if they all have speed module. So in the upper floor section, we'll place oxygen, hydrogen here. And, you know, 12 of those should be enough to go through any that we process. Make it so that we have a ton of hydrogen. And if we do need any other kind of manufacturing gubbins, we can take away from some of the assemblers or refineries that we put up there. So yeah, I'm going to move all of these assemblers over. I'm then gonna fiddle around with the conveyors that we've currently got placed here so that they're out of the way. Probably weld up the rest of this building, and then I'll join you next time for the cargo area, where we have to build, cargo containers and hydrogen and oxygen, probably the oxygen generators as well, yada yada. And in that, we'll also pressurize both buildings. That sounds good. Yeah. Building cargo, because I've already demonstrated how we constructed this, right? This structure. So I'm going to fill this out with the equipment we've already got. We then I build the new structure off camera. We then fill it in, or rather we place down cargo container, and then we place down a tank, place down whatever, and then we seal and pressurize both buildings, adding the rotary airlocks, probably adding some lights to make it fancy. I'm not going to weld everything right now because I don't have the resources for that. But that should be good. Yes. And then I'll have a think on what we want to do the episode after. But I'm thinking that we want a beefier mining vessel. Or rather, a better way to mine. As currently it's a bit slow and a bit risky. But until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.